Hello, everybody. Welcome again. I'm Ivor Chester, your balance coach. It's really good to see you again. I appreciate you spending time. Today, we're going to talk about, of course, something just ripped from today's headlines, or at least mine. We're going to talk about randomness. Randomness. I hear people today, it's kind of a catchphrase where people say, gosh, that was random. And it's like, well, okay, why didn't you prepare for it? Or why would that be random to you? Why did the universe speak to you that way? Don't you know God speaks in such a way? There's a whole lot of questions that can come up as to why was this random? Today, and the reason this came up is because I had a long-term plan that was about another 4 months out to where I was going to work with a business partner in a creative arts venture. And then today I get a message on LinkedIn saying, well, I'm moving, I'll see you later. And I went, well, that was random. And it was negative. Often in my life, random things are negative. Now, if you have a life, and I got in a bit of a discussion with somebody else on Facebook, they were saying that, you know, all their prayers get answered and all these things happen to them. And I'm going, okay, that's great that it works that way for you. It doesn't normally work that way for me. I'm not saying it's negative. But what I am saying is, randomness is normally negative because, one, we have way too short-term a vision. We're looking way too close to it, and we're looking in the micro instead of way out there at what's coming at us. Our long-term goals aren't set, and normally we're just thinking about what's next for dinner. You have to start having longer-term vision, so when something broadsides you, you at least somewhat anticipate it. Remember when we were in driver's ed, the teachers would say some of the most dangerous places to have your car drive through was an intersection. Why? Random things happen. My house is not far from a fairly major intersection. I've heard car crashes here a number of times. I see people have a lot of close calls because for one reason or another, oh, hey Beth, how you doing? Because people just ain't paying attention. So it makes a random event in other people's lives, innocent people. And to boil all this down, how to overcome randomness. Now, before I get too much into this, please know, randomness is just going to happen. At times, we can prepare as best as possible, but there's always going to be death in the family. There's always going to be cancer. There's always going to be a loss of a job. The bad things are going to happen. One, the more grounded you are, meaning the more you have made plans, the more you have a long-term vision, the more habits and rituals you have in your life. Because remember, rituals create habits that get better results. When you start having certain rituals in your life, you're grounded and established like a tree that is deeply rooted into the ground. And when the storms pass by, it doesn't cause you to topple. So, never think that I'm telling you to be OCD, because people who are OCD are really working on control, and they make life tough for the rest of us because they so overplan, they squeeze the life out of just random moments. And the random moments can occasionally be good if our eyes are open to it, like a sunset. You've decided to take a moment out and go watch the sunset, or watch the smile from your daughter's face. But whatever it is, when these random moments happen, you have to be prepared. It's mainly a mindset. Are you set for joy? Is your belief switch set for joy or pessimism? It just always happens to me. Crap always happens, man. You know, remember those shirts from the 70s, 80s said, oh, crap happens, so to speak. Yeah, sure it does. Does it have to stick on you? I got dogs in the backyard at times. You know, that's where they go out and do their business. Otherwise, they lay about my house like four-legged carpets. And when they go outside, they do the business. My kids go outside, and sometimes we have visitors. We go outside. And if they get something on their feet, you know, like a little doggy landmine, the trick to that is wipe it off. Okay? If something lands on you and it's bad, wipe it off, please. Sounds stupid simple, but there are people who have made a lifestyle of walking around and going, oh my gosh, look what happened to me. Can you believe this? Nobody cares. Wipe it off. Join the crowd. Let's go. So, how to prepare for randomness. 1. Realize it happens to everybody. It's not God speaking to you with a big hammer upstairs going, wrong, 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 I don't like you. 2, realize that randomness is just the universe. Right now, things randomly happen. Now, they appear random to us. They're not random to God. God knows these things are going to happen. It's like us when we're watching the parade. We're just watching one part as the parade approaches and departs. God's up at the top of the buildings, and he can see where it starts and he can see where it ends. Nothing is random to God. However, to us it is. And the closer we are to God, the less things seem a little random. Now, when randomness happens, it's best not to be shocked and totally knocked back on your butt. If you are, if it's something really catastrophic, like death, like the loss of a friend, like the loss of a job, realize that tomorrow is going to happen. The sun's still going to rise. Things are still going to be there waiting for you tomorrow. You don't have to settle tomorrow for what you're getting today. Yesterday may have been bad. Doesn't say tomorrow's going to be. How are you going to make it different? How are you going to change it? How are you going to put things and systems in place? Because people who establish systems, again, we're talking rituals, who establish systems have those structures in place for when other things collapse, they still have a plan B. And even though plan B may not be directly related to the loss of a friend, the loss of a job, you at least have this fallback to say, you know, I got this much. You can count your blessings about this much, and that's a good thing. Okay? There are things in place, but people who don't at all prepare and just drift, they're not ready for anything. And when things happen, everything seems random, and they're just buffeted by the most catastrophic things that to most people is just the butterfly effect. So you don't have to just find that everything is going to be really bad. There's a lot of good. It's also a matter of, here comes that word again, reframing. How are you reframing the bad? You lost a job? Okay, cool. Something better waiting. How do I know? Because you're smart enough to get up the next morning, hit the computer, start applying, start making your connections. That's why you're on LinkedIn. That's why you're making friends. That's why you're out there meeting people in your neighborhood. That's why you're going to meetup groups. That's why you're going to community centers, so you can be social. Nobody knows what happens to you if you isolate. And if you're one of those people that broad brush people because, well, people just suck. People are so dumb. Yeah, you are. Okay. You can't broad brush people that way. I think we call that bigotry, regardless how you point it out. So please be open. Things are less random when you're better connected to a lot of people. That way, they're there for you, and you also can kind of look at it like, well, you know, their mother died a few years back, or they lost a sister. If they got through it, I guess I can too. And that comparative statement, not at all related to envy, is enough to sit there and say, if they did it, they can maybe have information that I can use. And that just touches the iceberg on what it means to be random, which can be a good thing, really, but how most people frame it is negative because they just haven't prepared beyond the next meal. You're going to be okay. You have to have enough faith. And if you don't have faith in God, not a good idea, but at least have enough faith in yourself to carry on to the next thing, to have the view of the next moment. And if you don't know what that looks like, then you can contact me and leave your name in the comment section. Again, you can contact me at my webpage at ivorchester.com and ivorchester3 at Twitter and Instagram. Please follow this. Share it would be really great too, because the more information we have out there that's better, the less random things will seem to those who really are hopeless. everything seems random to the hopeless, because all they see in life is just a real tunnel vision thing. So things shoot by so fast, it seems random. For those of us who are out of the hole, who are on a mountaintop moment, we can see things coming from a great distance, and we can help those. All right? I appreciate your time. I have no idea when I'm going to be doing another one of these, because I'm striving to do this more than 3 times a week. I just want to do this, but at least I'll see you on Tuesday. Again, if you need to contact me, you know how to do it. I thank you for your time. We'll see you next time. Bye.